Well, hello, hello, hello. We are live. It's Thursday night, and we are so thrilled to be here today to share with you the message that Dr. Michael Gross will be channeling today. For those of you who are new and who've never actually met Dr. Michael Gross, virtually or in person, a little bit about him. Michael is a professional keynote speaker, energy transformational coach, and he's the author of The Spiritual Primer. He has, I would believe, Michael, correct me if I'm wrong, but 40 years of experience in the field of the spiritual realm,
Yes,
all,
ever since I was one.
all aspects of it. So uh, if you have questions, put them in the comments. I will put his contact information also in the comments so that we can stay connected. But we only do this for about 30 minutes or so. So we let Michael channel his information and we address the questions at the end of this podcast. So just go ahead and write them down, and we will definitely get back to you on it. And here you go, Michael. Dr. Michael Gross. Everybody, let's say hello to Dr. Michael Gross.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad you're here. This is going to be a little podcast dedicated to Valentine's Day, which will be coming up. And it's all about the nature of love. Isn't that a wonderful word, love, Love? But do we really understand what love is? It's it's so challenging because love means so many different things to everyone. But I'd like to try to break it down in its simplest forms or as close as I can because it's so hard to describe love. Because what is love? It's a feeling and it's an emotion. But as the true source said to me, there are only two energies, love and anything that is not of love. And that's really making it short and concise. And it's an energy that responds to your body. Actually, you're all energy and your body will respond to any energy. And by that I mean if you feel stupid or dumb or sick, you'll amplify it and your body will do that. If you feel joy and happiness, your body will do that. The most important thing that we have to understand, an item in life, is that the true source, as I call the true source, or you can say God, the true source, one energy, one frequency, one vibration, love. That's it. There's no judgmentalness. There's nothing. Love. And then you're probably saying, well, that's not what I learned in religiosity. That's true. You did learn that the true source is loving, and you did learn that, but you also learned that perhaps the true source was judgmental and all that stuff. Well, how can the true source who is loving be judgmental? It's like a parent. You love your child no matter what they do. For the most part, there's some things they do that don't, really aren't really too cool, as I would say. But getting back to the major thought about love, love is a frequency and energy that creates. And probably you've never thought about that. Well, how can love create? Love in itself is never static. It's an energy, it's a frequency. It is always vibrating. So it's always on the mood, always on the move, always creating. You are creating with love. And you're probably saying, wait a minute, why would I create falling, breaking my ankle, losing a job, having a disastrous relationship? That's a very good question. And the answer is because within you, this energy of love, what does love attract? Joy, peace, healing, and prosperity, abundance, everything you so desire. You see, made up in the energy of love is a frequency and energy that works with your soul to create whatever your soul desires for you to feel as in this incarnation of the body. So let's divide this in part. When you're in your soul form, you're surrounded with love. It's the most amazing feeling. How do I know? Because I've been there several times. And I will tell you, it is the most loving one. And I came back, I want to hug every person. Of course, I didn't do that because I might end up in prison, but hug every tree, hug every animal, even the rocks, everything. Wanted to hug that because it's so much love. In the very beginning, when we left the bosom of the true source, we played the game was on my term. What if? Well, what if I did this? What if I did that? Just an experiment. And along the way, we got a little messed up. And there were some souls that said, I want to be omnipotent. I want to be like the true source. We have free will and free choice to do that. But what we didn't realize is, uh-oh, listen, some of you are going askew. So we want the law of karma. What's that? Well, we would like to install this law of karma is what comes around goes around. That's one expression. Or if we mess up, what does it feel like to mess up? What did we create? How do we make this right? And how we made it right was simple. Next lifetime, you experience what you created the chaos. Let's supposing you stole money from people and you were one of those shrewd bankers that we read about in the times of Charles Dickens's. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. They had money counters. Well, then you'd have to come back and have money stolen from you. You go, what did I do? Why did I deserve this? Cause you did it in a past life. But then it's over and done with. Some of you are wondering, well, when I'm my soul body, am I being punished? No, you're not. It's impossible to be punished. Why is it? Because you're surrounded by love and you realize everything you've done. And it's been an experience to empower you. Well, what good is it learning all this stuff? Well, perhaps you'll be a guardian angel or a guide or a master guide. Or maybe you'll be a creator with others. You'll become Christ like, Buddha like, whatever. Choices are all yours. And it's more complex, and we'll address and explain to you what happens after you birth out. But I want to be more succinct. And being more succinct is that the most important thing, an item for you to understand, you are receiving love, which is a frequency and energy of vibration from the true source. Well, how do I get that? There's a fine cord that connects you to your soul, and your soul is now communicating with the oversoul. Boy, does this get a little confusing, which is connected to the true source. So let's say, Michael, you're telling me that there's a part of my soul that leaves the true source, but I'm connected to the true source, right? And there's a part you call the oversoul, which breaks apart and goes into your body called Michael, right? Well, why would I do that? Well, the answer is simple. There is a silver cord that connects everything. Well, I don't understand. Why do you need all this? It's because when you take a frequency and energy and vibration to make it solid, you have to lower the vibration. What does that mean? You have to slow it down. So I'll give you an example. Take an ice cube, pretty solid, and then you take it and you change the energy of it. Well, how do I change the energy? You put it in a pot, let it melt. Now it went from a solid to a liquid. Okay. Now you're going to raise the energy. You raised it once because you took it from a solid to a liquid. Now you're going to add more energy to it. So you put it on the stove, you turn on the gas or electric. Okay. Then the water begins to bubble. And then steam begins to come out of the pot. And the water begins to evaporate. And the steam rises up, rises up. You can't see it. But if you hold your hand a certain level of the pot, droplets of water will appear on your hand. That means it's a higher energy and vibration. That's your soul. Well, then you turn off the energy. You slow down the energy. Then the water comes down into the pot, slows down, bubbles, then it remains liquid. Then you slow down the energy by freezing it, and it becomes a solid. This is what happens when you're in your soul and when you're in your body. It's an oversimplification, but it makes sense. Well, at least to me it does, and I hope it does to you. So while we're having some fun, this is a beautiful thing for us on Valentine's Day. It's time for honoring. You see, whatever you see in yourself that's negative, all right, it's what you feel that you are negative. And I want to stretch that out. What you dislike in others, you dislike in yourself. What does that mean? Well, if you see somebody that's a bragger and all that stuff, you have that attitude. So they're mirroring you. But what happens if you begin to mirror, I love myself? Well, what does that really mean? It means that you appreciate what you are and you're perfect, ever growing more perfect. Wait a minute, Michael. What do you mean I'm perfect? Everything you're doing is perfect because you created out of love these experience and you're getting more perfect. How did I learn that? Well, on the farm, my deceased wife and I had a farm, and she said there's 100-year-old rose bush. Well, I didn't think it was 100 years old, but I'm going to placate her. And so I'm in the tractor, I think it was the tractor, and I made a turn too wide and I mowed it down. I learned a new language that day, and it was really fun sleeping on the sofa. No, it wasn't that bad, but I did learn a new language, and she was rightfully upset, and I apologized. But this beautiful rose bush that was now down the ground, I did a meditation. I'm in trouble. And I heard, just watch what happens next year. So, okay. So finally she calmed down. We went through the winter, and then spring arose, and this little plant rose began to grow. And by midsummer, it was very tall. And the tree source said, go look at the rose bush. Okay. Is it taller than last year? Yeah, I could see because it used to come up to the window now, and it's way above that point on the window. Is it more fragrant? Yeah, I can smell the roses, the beautiful flavor and fragrance of the roses like 5 feet away before I think I had to be a lot closer. Are the roses bright or red? Well, I'm not sure. I don't remember. Are they bigger? Oh, yeah, they're much bigger. That's the definition of perfection. The rose bush was perfect, but it grew back even more perfect. So we are always, always becoming more perfect. Well, how do we become more perfect? By loving what we do and understanding that in that love of energy, I am growing and obtaining knowledge. So think about this. Okay, I'm getting knowledge. Well, what is knowledge? Knowledge is learning and experiencing either visually, mentally, emotionally, or physically. It's experience. And that's so important. And when I talk about there's no such thing as failure, failure means success. Again, another definition. Well, I love what I'm doing. And if I screwed up and it didn't work out, I didn't fail. I learned something new. That's how powerful we are. So here we are talking about love. Here's what my suggestion is. I just want to check the time. I've got plenty of time. Love. Love your life around you. Love every experience because it adds knowledge. Love those who have taught you lessons. Sometimes you learn it the hard way. I know I got a crack or I got a slap. I learned that the hard way. Sometimes things didn't work out, but I loved that experience because I gained new knowledge. And then, you know, when you're growing up, you think you know it all and your parents know nothing. Well, then we learn after we get married and have children or we grow up, maybe my mother and father weren't so stupid, but I thought they were, but I love them for what they taught me. I had a client and she had a birthmark on her cheek, a big one. And she covered it up with some makeup. And I didn't even notice it. When she told me that, I said, take off the makeup, let everybody see you. Oh, no, it's too embarrassing. Well, she did. And she talked about this. And I said, this was a gift because you see, with that birthmark on her face, they made fun of her. She propelled herself and became more successful and obtained more friends. And then when she was on her podcast or whatever she was doing, she got everybody, well, not everybody, but almost everybody. You're brave. You're such a role model. What a beautiful thing. So she taught those who watched her, don't be ashamed. Look at me. I'm happy with who I am. I'm a beautiful woman and I honor her. She's really magnificent for what she did, the beautiful thought that she did. And it's so great. And she feels better about herself. So everything in life is a gift. Love the gift. If you're driving your car and you get a flat tire, it's like, okay, you got a flat tire, but you I could have had an accident, could have had a blowout and been killed. I love that it happened here. And somebody was telling me they weren't that far away from getting, their tire repaired, and they were able to limp over and get air in the tire and fix it to some extent. Just love all those things. What's the message? The message you're telling the universe and your soul, Everything I'm learning, I love because it adds knowledge. And I love that I'm protected. I'm love that these things are happening. And, during my discussions with many people, they say, well, my business has gone to pot. Nothing's working well. You ought to said, what a beautiful, loving thing. What do you mean that? It's gone to hell. Everything's falling apart. No, it's time for you to change direction. And you weren't listening. So love the fact that you now are forced to make a decision. You're forced to do something different. And I will tell you, it will happen. How do I know? I'm an expert at that. There's so many things I've done in my life. I've had, I've been in foreign countries. I've been in deserts. I've been in jungles. Nothing was ever planned. But I'm the kind of person, okay, true source, here we go. Whatever it's going to be. I went water rafting and down in Vegas. So I had this blow up raft, and I don't know much. And I kept going down and down. I didn't get off the point. And finally, I went further downstream, maybe a half a mile down, and I jumped out and I pulled the raft out, asking for true order source guidance. And then finally, the couple turned up, came up, and they said, "We were worried about you." I said, "Yeah, well, I really don't know what I'm doing." He said, "You're a level 4 rafting." What's that? It's advanced, advanced. Thank you, true source. I learned a new lesson. I'm protected. So, but it gave me, they were so impressed. I was so happy to be on dry land. I wasn't impressed at all, but it was thankful everything that worked out. That's the other lesson. Love that you're always guided. Love that you're always protected. And more importantly, love your life and love your parents. Yeah, they taught us hard lessons. And love your relationships with your family, friends, children. Some of you have been married, some of you have not been married. Some of you have had disastrous relationships. But during that disastrous relationships, there are loving times. And love the fact that you learn from each other and perhaps you outgrew each other. But you're never going to be alone unless you desire to be alone because you are unlimited. So as the time is going by, I want to share something that I channeled. And it talks about love. Each morning when you get up, before I discuss this, just say, I love my life. And look in the mirror and say your name 3 times, like, Michael, I love you. I love you, Michael. Michael, I love you. And watch the vibrations. You see, it's the energy of love that heals your body. It's the energy when you have a cut and leak in your skin, a hole in your skin. It's the energy of love from the immune system and your cellular structure that creates a scab and creates new cells to eliminate the hole in your skin. Those are the things that are so wonderful. So here's what I'd like to share with you, what I channeled from the true source. But first, I'm going to have a double straight up. Thank you. So I'm going to read it to you. What is love? Love is an extension of life, and life is an extension of love. The two are indistinguishable. Without love, there is no life, and without life, there is no love. You must first learn to love yourself, for what lies within you is the beauty of life. The two are intertwined, and you must learn to nurture that seed of love within you. This can be compared to planting a seed into the ground. First, you must prepare the ground like you must prepare yourself to accept it. Then you need to fertilize it with caring, acceptance, and watering it with faith. As the seed of love begins to grow in your heart, you come to the realization it is the life within you. Now the seed continues to grow into a stem and eventually becomes a flower. You begin to realize that the flower must be nurtured with the sun, with warm wind and rain. As the plant blossoms and unfurls its petals, showing its beauty, you come to the understanding that, like the flower, you are created of love, created out of love, letting love bloom forth. Your essence is nothing but pure love. First, you must be in service of loving yourself in a kind and gentle way. The realization that you're on the journey of life, You need to take care of yourself by expressing acceptance, non-judgmental, non-judgmentalness, inner knowing, and eventually birthing forth into unconditional love. Love must be nurtured by faith, hope, and desire to become an extension of others, and to become that extension of others so that they may feel the love within you. It is not about the sacrifices you make in life, rather, the love you spread in life and in your spiritual work. Knowing full well whether it is accepted or not accepted, you're always doing right action and correct exchange with the expression of unconditional love. The emotion of love comes from your essence, your beingness, understanding full well that you are created out of love, by love, with love, and from, most importantly, unconditional love. Once you have acknowledged this within yourself, you are to share this with someone you deeply love and care for. For together the two of you are to spread this love throughout the universe. There is no forgiveness without love, and there is no love without forgiveness. You must first forgive yourself, realizing that everything you've experienced is creative love, to understand what life and love is truly about. It's not about control. It's not about manipulation. It's not about the fear. It's not about the death or fear of death or doubts or insecurities or materiality. It is the fine, silky texture of loving yourself, knowing full well it is necessary to embrace the true source's unconditional love. The recognition of the true source's unconditional love can only exist by acknowledging this is the same love within you. Love cannot be expressed with flowery words. Love is something that is felt deep within your soul and deep within your heart. Words express love, but the emotional energy of love is felt deep within you to remind you that is the glue that holds your body together in this universe. For you see, without love there is no life, and without life there is no love. There's nothing but love. It is the only energy that exists in the now and forever. Love can never be extinguished, only set aside. Love commands that it be expressed in every way possible. Remember, you are love. Become love. You are unlimited. I wanted to share this with you. Think about these words, and if you would desire, you can text me, and I'll be glad to send you a copy of this. But I want all of you to know each day is Valentine's Day, to love yourself and love everyone around you. I want to thank you so much for joining us. To you, do we have any comments?
We have uh, only a couple. Mostly they're sending you love, Michael. They're sending you love. And Darshan mentioned what a great example when you mentioned that different stages of water. So he said that was a really good example to explain what you were talking about regarding energies.
Thank
And I
you.
would just like to add, Michael, that you are the greatest example of unconditional love.
Thank you.
The way you share your wisdom and how much you give to everyone else. You know, I know that we're getting ready to wrap this up, and you always make sure that you talk to us about your Tuesday and the special Saturday event that's coming up this Saturday, which is Valentine's Day. So I'm going to go ahead and just thank you from the bottom of my heart for entering my life and changing my life so much, because I had no idea what unconditional love really truly felt like until I felt it when you woke up my soul. And you are the epitome of excellence in all that you teach us. Thank you,
Thank you.
Michael.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Well, I'd like to share with all of you that the every Tuesday evening from 6:30 p.m. Pacific time to 7:30 p.m. Pacific time is called Soul Awakening. It's done on freeconferencecall.com. And you've heard me say this before, and you can be in your pajamas or whatever, and I'll never know. And what we're going to do, and you're going to do, hopefully, is join us and have a question. If you don't have a question, maybe there's something I'll share with you that you've forgotten, or maybe new information. And after I try, and hopefully I can answer all your questions, then I deliver a 10-minute message. So I would encourage all of you, and there's no such thing as a stupid question. They're all very informative and they all help us. Do you tell them how they can get in touch with us?
Absolutely, Michael. That Tuesday night call in number is 202 926 1059. And the access code, Michael?
125 446 #. One more
One more.
time, please.
That number is 202 926 1059. And the access code, Michael?
125 446 #. Using the same area code, the same telephone number, the second Saturday of every month, which is in this year 2026, falls on Valentine's Day. It would be a very loving thing for you to join us at 9:55 a.m. Pacific time to 11:01 Pacific time. We send healing to the mass consciousness on this planet. And here's something I'd like all of you to know. We know, and you know for sure, there's so much chaos in this planet. And I was told many years ago that we are the solution, and we are the ones that are going to be making a difference. And at this point, we have to make a difference to stop this chaos. What happens is at 9:55 a.m., we chat for a few minutes, where you're from, etc. And then we become a conduit for the true source's unconditional love. And it spreads like a beautiful lotus flower. And the energy, pink vibrational energy of love, covers the planet, the animal, mineral, and vegetable kingdom, even Lady Gaia, Mother Earth, whatever you want to call her. She is so much in need of this. This is so important that we must, we have to make a difference. And we are. It's so beautiful. And I've had newcomers come in and they've actually talked to their deceased family, and it just blew them away because they never believed in it. And they were just like, wow, it's incredible. And what a way to set up the new month. So the second Saturday of every month we do this. And again on freeconferencecall.com. It's the same number to you. Would you give it to them one more time?
Absolutely. That number is 202 926 1059. And the access code, Michael?
125 446 #. Please join us. It's so important, so dear to my heart. And you know, what comes around goes around. Sending out love, you receive love. And what I've learned from the true source, it's right action and correct exchange. Whatever you put out there comes back to you. What could be more beautiful than sending love? Also, I want to invite all of you to come to our podcast, of course, and listen and share this with everyone. And I had alluded that I deliver a 10-minute message on Tuesday evenings on Soul Awakening. And I have about 422 messages. Boy, does Michael talk a lot. Well, they're only 10 minutes long, so I talk a lot for 10 minutes. To I'm going to ask you to give you this information. But before I do, you're upset, you're angry, whatever. Listen to it. There's a 10-minute message. I can't tell you how many people said, wow, just what I needed to hear. Or you're stuck in traffic, or you had an argument with somebody, or you're feeling sick, or whatever. The price of admission, 10 minutes of your time. And you can access it either by your phone, or you can go onto YouTube, Dr. Michael B. Gross, or whatever you so desire. Do you give them that information?
I would love to. Those 10-minute call ins are such a pick me up if you're feeling down and you're driving. And I've done that many, many times. And Michael didn't label them. He'll tell you that one in a minute. But here's the number. The recording number is 434 300 4170. And the access code, Michael?
125 446 #. One more time.
434 300 4170. 70. And code Michael.
125446 pound. If you saw me looking down, my dog just joined me. He's picking up the energy. Thanks, Rex. He told me his name was Rex, by the way, and I said, okay. As you know, that means king. He thinks he runs the household. He really does, but I won't tell him. Anyway, I wanted to share that. It starts at number 3 and it goes to about 421, 422. And didn't index them, as Tiu said. And when I realized that, the true source said, no, it was intentional. Okay, why? Do you want to read through 421 of the different index names? Nope. Just trust your soul and you'll be really happy that that occurred. So please, everyone, take advantage of it. It will change your life. Also, I'd like to offer all the new beautiful souls a complimentary session. The telephone number is there. Now, I am called old school, so I thought I'd share that with you. I am old school. Call me. I may not be able to take the phone. I'll try to leave you a message. I'll call you back. Then leave me a text message. What happens is, if you leave me a voice message, sometimes my phone in one day can get filled up with messages. I don't know why this person called me, but if you will text me your time zone and your name, I'll be more than happy to get in touch with you very shortly. Could be a day or so, and we'll set up a time, and it's complimentary. Not going to sell you anything. Not going to say, and if you take an office today, you're going to save $10 million if you sign up today. I don't do that. All I say, if I can be of any help, let me know. You got my number. I'm done, and it's up to you, because I know if you're not ready, it's a waste of time. And if you need my help, we'll work something out. And one more last thing. Tia and I have worked ardently, very hard. We usually talk about our books. But this is a book that is collaboration between you and I, and it's called You're Unlimited. Yep, that's what it's called. And it's published and marketed by the International Institute of Self Empowerment, TICE, as we call it. It's a 501c3 nonprofit. And what this is all about beautiful pictures taken by award winning photographer Tio and quotes from the true source. There's over 100 of them. And I'd like to share this with everyone. It's good. You can leave it on your cocktail table. You can leave it on your business. And I'm just checking. Yep, the price of the book is $39.95. Includes shipping, handling, and taxes. And when we took a look at, gosh, $39.95, but to print color pictures and so on and so forth, it makes it a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you will also have this book. And it's like what you think you create, what you create, your experience. Another quote: there is no yesterday, there is no tomorrow, there is only the now and forever. To you, show them the last page, please, the one with the eagle. So there's over
Absolutely.
100 different quotes. And
Can I show them my favorite too?
all the proceeds of the money, the $39.95, and it's tax deductible, 501c3. You can use it as a tax deduction. It all goes to TICE. Doesn't go T and I have not drawn any income from TICE. It's all about helping abused women, children, and men. So you see, without love, there is no life. Without life, there is no love. And you are unlimited. Everyone, give this as a gift. I know it's late for Valentine's Day, but give it as a gift for birthdays, a gift on anniversaries, or just a gift for someone who's a little down or unsure. One of my other favorite quotes are you a slave of your fears or master of your life? There's so many things. So we want to share this with you, share this knowledge, share these motivational thoughts when you feel, as I say, lower than a pregnant snake. Share it, and it will change your life. So, everyone, share this with everyone, talk about it, and remember, it's going to all the money that comes in goes to the nonprofit to help abused women, children, and men. and we have a special program we'll be talking about later. So we want to thank all of you and thank you for joining us and appreciate everything.
May I add one thing?
Sure.
Every message that's on the pictures, Michael channeled from the true source. Every single beautiful message. And true source led me. I listened to my soul, and that's why we have the pictures that we have, because I had no intention sometimes about even going where I ended up. So trust what you hear within yourself. And definitely, this is an evergreen gift that will continue to give and give and give repeatedly, no matter whether it's Easter, Christmas, whatever it is, or just to gift it to someone who's struggling today. Thank you so much, Michael, for sharing your words of wisdom in this beautiful book.
Thank you for the beautiful photography. So we thank you, everyone. We wish you a happy Valentine's Day and make Valentine's Day every day for yourself, for the ones you love, and your family. And remember, you are unlimited.
Limited.
Namaste.
Namaste.
We love you all. Take care.
Love you. Next
Love
week,
you.
invite your friends.